I'm Mr. Second Passport. Today I'm going to cover the best investment I have ever seen or found here in Ecuador. In years that I've lived here, obviously it has nothing remotely close to do with real estate. Obviously, because a lot of real estate investment in Ecuador is different than in North America. People don't invest to make money. They use real estate down here as a store of wealth because they don't trust the banks. It's just a totally different culture and a totally different way of doing things compared to how we invest in real estate, say, in North America. So a lot of times the returns on a lot of real estate investments down here in Ecuador are just not that good, to be honest with you, or sometimes downright lousy. But so you kind of have to look at other things, and there are other opportunities down here to make money or money on the side if that's something you want to do. Now, today's option is the best in terms of return, right? Pure return, potential return. But I didn't say it's completely passive because it's not, and I didn't say that it's risk-free because it's not as well. It is a little bit risky, but it is legal, right? So it is something that's legal, but it is risky, so it's not for everyone for sure. But hey, it's the best I've found, so I thought I'd take a few minutes today and mention it real quick. So I know a few people in the business. I'm not personally in the business myself, at least at this time, but it basically, on the low end, it can generate you 129% return on your money over the course of a year. And on the high end, it could generate you close to, say, 170, 171% on your money. So yes, that means over doubling. On the high end, almost tripling your money in the same year. Now, it's not that easy to find a return anywhere near this in pretty much everywhere in the world, right? So again, it's something interesting to at least mention. It may not be for you. I'm not sure if it's for me, but it's something I'm looking at, to be honest with you. I'm still considering. So the deal is renting motorcycles, right? Renting motorcycles, ones like this here in Ecuador. Now, it's not to who you think, right? It's not to foreign tourists and things like that, although that's probably not a bad business idea either. I know some folks in that business too. But what I'm talking about today, and what I know people who are doing and doing pretty well renting this way, is you're renting to locals, right? All local Ecuadorians, and kind of almost the lowest rung of society, people who don't even have the money for a $1,400 brand new but Chinese motorcycle, right? So that's about where they start at, the Chinese brand new motorcycle, around $1,400 down here. And then you can possibly generate, right, according to my friend who's in the business, around 200 bucks a month to rent it, or on the low end 150, right? And that would bring in a revenue of $1,800 to $2,400 in the year. So as you can see, that's where you get these numbers from, anywhere on the low end 150 to like 129% on your money, to the high end charging closer to $200, 171% on your money. So almost a triple up, 3x your money in one year, right? And then you can keep that motorcycle renting probably for another year before you're going to have to sell it. And used motorcycles down here, like cars, don't lose a whole lot of their value if they've been taken care of. So you may be able to easily get half of that $1,400 figure by reselling the motorcycle after 2 years. 700-800 bucks possibly. Now, the insurance and taxes are pretty much the only thing you as the owner would have to pay, and the taxes are super cheap, like way less than 50 bucks a year. I know they're super cheap down here in Ecuador for a motorcycle that size, but I have not owned one myself. And the insurance, I got this data from my friend, is around 8, 9, 10 bucks a month per motorcycle to insure the motorcycle and get liability coverage. So again, those are pretty much the two bigger costs, you could say, you the owner. Now, how would you get the people to rent? Well, it's going to help to speak Spanish and obviously patience, because you're dealing with the lower rung of society that really doesn't have much money, right? And again, yeah, you can see the risk here if people rent your motorcycles to do bad things. So you have to obviously check them out um, very thoroughly. You know, ask for all their documents, maybe ask for a living address. Again, we're not going to get into the particulars on how to run this type of business in just a few minute video here, but I am going to share the best business that I have found in Ecuador. It's certainly not risk-free, as you can imagine at these returns, and it's certainly not probably as passive as a lot of us would like, but you can see the possible return just might make sense for you possibly. Now, I did do a test run and post on Facebook just as a test that I was renting motorcycles for $200 a month, and I got a flood of inquiries really quick. So I don't think it would be too difficult to find demand for this either. I'm Mr. Second Passport. Take care.